Hi, hello, and a very warm welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to discuss and reveal 8 of the most popular business models for e-commerce. So if you want to know 8 of the most popular business models for e-commerce that you could adapt to your own business, then this video is definitely for you. Now, when you're starting a business online, you have a lot of choices to make. Out of the product you choose to sell, one of your biggest decisions is what your business model is going to be. Now, in this video, I'm going to share a high-level breakdown on 8 of the major choices to consider when starting your business so that you can make the best decisions possible right from the beginning. It's important to understand each of these methods in order to make the right choice for your small business. Of course, there are pros and cons to each of the methods, and depending on your product, your market, and your cost structure, one may be more suitable for you and your business than the others. But first, let's begin by looking at what really is a business model. A lot of the times we hear people talking about a business model, but what really is a business model? The term business model refers to a company's core framework for operating profitably and providing value for customers. The features of a good business model explain the customer value proposition and pricing strategy. It identifies the products and services a company offers, its target market, and future expenses. Now, business models are essential for both new and established businesses alike. They help companies understand their customers, keep employees motivated, attract investment, and provide a sustainable competitive advantage by identifying opportunities to grow. Think of your business model as a life asset for your company. It's healthy to update it regularly to stay on top of trends and obstacles ahead. And if you're planning to fundraise or look for partnerships, active business model innovation shows stakeholders you can adapt and meet changing market demands. Now, let's look at the 4 common business types of models that we have out there. There are 4 main types of business models that describe most transactions between customers and businesses. The first one is what we call business to business, or B2C. The business to consumer business model, it refers to commerce between a business and an individual consumer. For example, when you buy a t-shirt from a retailer online. Now, while this includes brick and mortar business, it's also become associated with e-commerce. The second business model that we have is business to business. We call this B2B. Business to business refers to any commerce between 2 businesses. For example, when a company sells software to another company, wholesale retailers typically fall under this category versus companies that sell at a retail level. Brands can also include business-to-business offerings as a retailer. For instance, a coffee brand can sell its beans to shoppers on its website, but also sell in bulk to coffee shops. The third business model that we have is consumer to consumer, that is C2C. The consumer to consumer business model is when a customer sells a product or service to another consumer. For example, when you sell a used laptop on Facebook Marketplace, that is consumer to consumer business model. Now, individual sellers often begin selling on online marketplaces, then they start an online store to build a brand and capture more profits. And the fourth business model that we have is consumer to business, that is C2B. Now, the rise in the creator economy has led to a spike in consumer to business companies. And this business model refers to when a consumer sells their own products or services to a business or organization. Now, if you want to become an influencer or a photographer selling photos online, then this is the type of business model you'd use. Now that we have looked the four different types of business models that describe most transactions between customers and businesses, let us now look at 8 of the most popular business models that you could adapt for your e-commerce. Now, the first one is drop shipping. The first most popular business model for e-commerce is drop shipping. Now, drop shipping is really far and away the least expensive option for starting a new business. It attracts people who prefer to keep startup costs as low as possible and are less concerned about margins. Drop shipping is also a great business model for someone who doesn't want to hold and manage inventory. So when it comes to the advantages of drop shipping, there is very low cost needed to start. The biggest advantage of drop shipping is the low startup cost. Because you're never carrying inventory, you have no inventory costs at all, which generally are the most substantial expense for a new e-commerce business. Also, you incur low risk. Since you don't actually purchase your inventory upfront, you aren't taking the risk of holding items you can't sell. And also, dropship partners will take on the tasks of picking, packing, and shipping your product for you. So the dropship option provides convenience and efficiency so that you can manage your business from anywhere in the world. However, dropshipping does have some disadvantages. The first disadvantage is high competition. Because dropshipping has such low barriers to entry, you can bet that a lot of people are doing it. Competition is stiff and it's hard to set yourself apart from the crowd. The second disadvantage of dropshipping is low margins. Low margins makes it difficult to compete with paid advertising space, which means you'll have to rely more on building content, surveys, etc. Low margins also means you have to sell at significant volume to make a decent profit. Also, because you're relying on someone else's inventory, the occasion may arise when you place a shipment request to the wholesaler, but the product is sold out. And this longer than normal delivery time can reflect badly on your business. Now, your profit really with dropshipping is the difference between what the consumer pays and the price the dropshipper charges you. And typically with dropshipping, your profit margins are slim, around 20%. However, dropshipping is low risk in terms of potential financial loss because you never buy inventory upfront, nor do you have to worry about shipping products. Additional risk comes in the form of very slim margins, like I said, and high levels of competition. And slim margins mean you have to move a lot of units to make decent profit. Now, the second most popular business model for e-commerce that you could adapt is makers. Basically, making your own products. This is a common approach for many hobbyists. Whether it will be jewelry, fashion, or natural beauty products, making new products yourself allows for precise control over quality and your brand, but it comes at the cost of limitations, time, and scalability. The primary costs associated with making your own products include the purchasing of raw materials, the storage of inventory, and labor. And the most important thing to note here, though, is that not all your products can be made by hand. Your product choices are limited to your skills and available resources. So this option is for the do-it-yourselfer, someone who has their own unique ideas. They can physically produce the goods themselves and have the resources available to do so. Now, making your own products is also for people that want to maintain full control over the product quality and their brand, and who have the desire to keep startup inventory costs really low. So what are the pros and the cons of making products yourself? Now, let's begin with the advantages. When you make your own products, you generally don't have to produce a large number of units upfront to have on hand like you would have to purchase if you're having your own products manufactured. And this allows you to enjoy relatively low production costs, which for many e-commerce businesses makes up the bulk of their startup expenses. Also, if you choose to make the products yourself, then you will have brand control. Making your own product means you can create any brand you wish with no limitations. Also, you have price control. Going in hand with brand control, you will have the ability to price your products as you see fit. You will also have quality control. When making your own products, you can closely control the quality, ensuring they live up to your expectations as well as those of your customers. And making your own products can give you the greatest level of agility for your business, letting you adjust quality, features, and even the entire product on the fly. So what are the disadvantages of adopting making your own products as a business model? The first one, it's very time consuming. Depending on your exact product choice, making your own products can be a time consuming process, leaving you less time to focus on actually building your business. Also, making your products can become an issue when your business takes off. Although you have the option to look to a manufacturer for help, as you scale up, this might not be easy or possible if your customers have come to expect your products to be handmade. And the third disadvantage is limited product choices. As I mentioned earlier on, your choices of potential products are limited to your skills and the resources you have available to you. And obviously, this will vary from person to person. Now, the third most popular business model for e-commerce that you can adapt for your business is manufacturing. Manufacturing your product is good for those people with a unique idea or a variation of a currently existing idea. It's also for people that have validated the market for their product and are fairly confident that it will sell. Now, this is important, as manufacturing will require the greatest financial investment up front. Now, when it comes to manufacturing, you can look at it through two lenses. That is private label and white label. Let me explain. A private label product is created by a manufacturer and sold under the business name. The business controls everything from what goes in the product, how it's packaged, and what the labels look like. Private label is best for brands who want to create unique products. On the other hand, a white label product is created by one manufacturer and sold to various retailers under their own brand names. They are generic products that you can sell to wider custom segments. Now let's look at the pros and the cons of manufacturing. Let's begin with the advantages. It's not uncommon for manufacturing to garner the lowest cost per unit, giving you the greatest margins on your product. Another advantage is having your product manufactured means you can build your own brand around it and you're not constrained by others. Along with the ability to build your own brand comes the ability to set your own prices for your product. And unlike dropshipping or purchasing wholesale, when you manufacture your own product, you're in more control of the quality of your final result. However, manufacturing comes with some disadvantages. The startup cost required for initial orders can be quite high. Depending on the cost of your product and the manufacturer, your inventory investment can reach thousands or tens of thousands of dollars quite easily. Also, nothing will bring your business to a halt like being scammed by an overseas manufacturer. And another advantage is that manufacturing can be a long process of prototyping, sampling, refining, and production. The difficulty of this process can be amplified, even extended, if you plan on using an overseas manufacturer, as language, distance, and cultural barriers can arise. So when it comes to choosing to manufacture the products yourself as a business model, think of the disadvantages: minimum order quantities, trouble with manufacturers, and time to get up and running. Now, let's move on to the next most popular business model for e-commerce. But before we do that, let me just finish off manufacturing by saying, when you manufacture your own products, your margins can vary greatly based on the particular product, the manufacturer, and order quality. Usually, however, manufacturing your own product gives you the greatest margin potential, don't forget that, over all the other methods like purchasing, wholesale, and drop shipping. Now, the fourth most popular business e-commerce model that you could adapt is selling wholesale. Purchasing products wholesale is a good option if you want to get up and running quickly or if you want to sell a variety of products and brands. Wholesaling provides a wide range of opportunities as there are many products available for wholesale. Some of the advantages of wholesale is buying wholesale is, it is typically lower risk because you're dealing with brands that are already validated on the market. So you don't run the risk of wasting time and money developing a product no one wants. Also, selling already established brands can help position your business by creating an aura effect around your own business. So what are the disadvantages of wholesale? Selling already established products can work for you as well as against you because the products are available from multiple retailers. So you will need to fight extra hard to differentiate yourself and convince potential customers to purchase from you. Also, selling other brands means to some extent you have to play by their rules. And some brands will in fact enforce price controls to prevent you from discounting their products. Also, when purchasing wholesale, you will likely have to purchase a minimum order of each product. And the minimum order will depend on the product and manufacturer. However, you will have to stock and hold inventory as well as manage that inventory for reorder. Another disadvantage is that if you're carrying an array of products, dealing with multiple supply partners can become difficult to manage. Of course, requirements may vary from supplier to supplier. Having said that, the margins for wholesale are typically good compared to dropshipping, dropshipping, for example, but not as profitable as manufacturing. Wholesale might be considered a safe middle ground between manufacturing and dropshipping. Now, although each case is obviously unique, it's typical to see a 50% margin on wholesale goods resold at retail pricing. So buying wholesale still carries some risk, yes. Wholesaling will require the purchase of inventory with no guarantee that you can see it. Perhaps the greatest risk comes from figuring out how to differentiate yourself from the many other retailers selling the same products. Now, the fourth most popular business model for e-commerce that you could adapt is print on demand. Print on demand is really a way to sell, it's a way to sell made to order products that feature your designs. You simply make the design, and when a customer orders a product with a design, a third-party printing service creates, packs, and ships the order for you. Now, similar to dropshipping, this model reduces the costs of entry into selling online because you don't have to pay for a product until you make the sale, so there is no upfront investment. And what does this mean? This frees up funds you can put forward towards marketing and advertising strategies. Now, when using print on demand, everything from printing to packaging to shipping is handled by your printing partner. And that means that once you create the design, you can make the product and sell it online within minutes. Another advantage is that shipping and fulfillment, as I said, is handled by your supplier. After you make the sale, you are only responsible for providing great customer service. Another advantage is that since you don't hold any inventory, it's easy to add and remove products, test new business ideas, and create products for niche markets. However, print on demand comes with some disadvantages. Now, the first one is that shipping costs can really get complicated, as they often vary for different products. So your options also may be limited if you want to create a standout unboxing experience. Another disadvantage apart from shipping costs is that what you can customize depends on the vendor and the product. So you'll have to determine base costs, printing techniques, and available sizes when deciding which products to customize. Now, print on demand is a great business model for creatives because the offerings are endless, and you can sell products like duffel bags, yoga leggings, face masks, watch bands, canvas prints and posters, throw pillows, and even blankets. On-demand products typically yield thinner profit margins, depending on your strategy, on your pricing strategy and customer acquisition costs. But it's a good low-risk business model for those new to e-commerce or who want to test new revenue streams for their existing business. Now, the fifth business model that is very, very popular is digital products. Now, a digital product is a non-physical asset or media type that can be sold and distributed online repeatedly without restocking inventory. And these products often come in the form of a downloadable or streamable or transferable digital files such as MP3s or PDFs or NFTs or videos, plugins, and templates. Now, the upfront cost of creating a digital product can be quite high, but the variable cost of selling them is comparatively low. Once an asset is made, it's incredibly cheap to deliver to customers. So what are the pros? What are the advantages of digital products? Now, you don't hold any inventory or run up any shipping charges, so you have very low overhead costs. Secondly, orders can be delivered instantly, letting you be hands-off with fulfillment. And as the business grows, you can easily convert tasks into automation to free up time. Another advantage is that you have extensive product offerings. What do I mean? There are various routes you can take. A freemium model where you provide products for free with upgradable features, monthly paid subscriptions for access to exclusive content, or licenses to use your digital products. You can build a business solely around digital products or incorporate them into your existing business. Another advantage is that you have a huge opportunity to grow your business and impact with e-learning, an industry expected to be worth $374 billion by 2026. So what are the cons? What are the disadvantages of digital products? Now, the first one obviously is high competition. People can probably find free alternatives to your digital products. So you'll have to consider the niche you target, provide superior products, and know how to build your brand in order to succeed. The other disadvantage is that you're always at risk of people stealing and reusing your products as they own them. So you have the problem of piracy and theft. And then you also have the issues to do with selling restrictions. For example, you can only sell physical products through Facebook and Instagram according to their commerce policy. Now, because your income doesn't depend on owning physical assets with a digital product business, you don't need any large-scale upfront investment. So that's a great advantage. And it also means you can charge lower prices than physical competitors. Moreover, there is no recurring cost of goods and services, which means you retain most of the profits. Now, the sixth most popular business model out there is direct to consumer, which we also call DTC, direct to consumer. Now, the direct to consumer business model means you sell products directly to customers without wholesalers, middlemen, or third-party retailers like Amazon. It's a new business model gaining traction as the multi-channel retailer model slows down. Now, think about the latest trending brands like Backbox, Casper, Bonobos. What do they all have in common? They have a DTC business model, direct to consumer. Even brands like Apple and Tesla are leveraging mobile commerce as a main channel for DTC sales. Now, these brands eliminate the hassle of researching and choosing from hundreds of competing brands, making the entire shopping experience easier for customers. So what are the advantages of direct-to-consumer or DTC? First, you own the customer relationship. What do I mean? When someone shops at a retailer like Nordstrom, for example, and buys a Canada Goose jacket, they become a customer of Nordstrom, not Canada Goose. Now, the brand can't communicate with their customers, email them updates, or do anything with the relationship at all. Selling direct helps you own more relationships and increase customer lifetime value. Another advantage is that selling direct lets you collect first-party data you can use to personalize customer communications and experiences. Also, you don't have to share profits with any third-party distributors. And finally, since you can communicate with customers directly, you can easily collect feedback to improve your products and customer experiences. However, there are some disadvantages. The first one is that there is no sharing of shipping or storage costs. DTC businesses need to invest more upfront to get their business operating smoothly. Another disadvantage is that, as we said, one advantage of working with retailers is that customers can find your products easier. Now, if you're a new brand, you'll have to market yourself. You also don't benefit from the distributor's experience or sales force. Now, by interacting with your customers directly, if you choose to adopt this business model, you retain control of your products and their performance. Now, while it may take time and money to establish reliable distribution channels, selling direct is a smart business model for building a loyal customer base and improving profitability over time. Now, The next business model that you could adopt that is quite popular is subscription. The subscription e-commerce market is projected to reach $473 billion by 2025. A subscription business model charges customers a recurring fee, usually monthly or yearly, to access a product or service. Subscription models help businesses capitalize on ongoing customer relations. If they continue to see the value in your offer, they'll continue to pay your fee. It doesn't matter if you're an e-commerce business or online educator. You can start a subscription business across many industries, including streaming services, monthly subscription boxes, membership communities, food services. A recurring revenue model can lead to higher revenues and stronger customer relationships. Though a subscription membership, the longer customers use your product or service, the more valuable it becomes to them. So what are the advantages of this business model of subscription? Now, firstly, monthly recurring revenue helps you forecast sales, plan inventory, and understand how much to invest for business growth. Another advantage is receiving monthly payments upfront means more cash and peace of mind for your startup. And also, regular purchases give you deeper insight into customer behavior, so you can continually improve products and keep customers coming back for more. Another advantage is that the more customers use your products, the more trust you build with them. And this makes it easier to sell additional products to them because they already know you provide value. And now, what are the disadvantages? What are the disadvantages of this business model of subscription? Now, one drawback of the subscription business model is churn. What do I mean? You have to constantly keep people interested and engaged for them to keep paying you. Secondly, products become dull if they don't change often. Netflix adds and removes movies every month, right? Trunk Club promises to invest in your changing styles over time. You need to keep products fresh with this business model to maintain a subscription business. Now, most subscription services give their customers the same thing at the same time every month. Now, while this seems simple, if there's one small kink in your system, it can turn into a big problem fast if you don't plan for it. Now, so those are 8 of the most popular business models out there in the market. And perhaps at this point, you're asking yourself, how do I find a successful business model? Remember, most products will fall into one of these core business models. Depending on your product or niche, you may not have the option of which e-commerce business you choose. Much depends on the type of product you plan to sell. Some products will naturally fall under certain categories. However, the model you end up selling under will partially define and shape your entire business plan going forward. So use the different business models that I've discussed to build a foundation that you can rely on. And then continue to innovate how you deliver value to your customers. And soon you'll start to see the impact of a good business model firsthand and kick off your path to entrepreneurship the right way. Now, what is a good business model? A good business model is the building block, like I said, for a successful business strategy. It will answer critical questions about your business and create a strong vision for the future. Key components of a strong business model include your target customers and market, your company's strengths and weaknesses, pricing strategy, core element of your products, and how you will sell them. My final tips. How do I choose a business model? How do you choose a business model? I'll give you 7 strategies that you could use. First, determine the value of your product to the customer segment. Secondly, Confirm that your product solves the problem. Thirdly, choose a proven business model example. Fourthly, create a business plan or business model canvas. Fifth, test your sales channels and distribution strategy. 6, run a pilot program. And seventhly, the seventh step, collect customer feedback. Now, you may choose to adapt those strategies to find, or rather to choose a business model or not. Because in any case, for each of the 8 of the most popular business models that I've discussed in this video, I have given you the pros and the cons. So that should really help you to choose the right business model for you. Now, if you found this video helpful at all, kindly give the video a thumbs up and share the video with anybody else who may benefit from it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because remember, this channel is all about money. If it has anything to do with money, I upload it, because my goal is to help you thrive financially and build your wealth. Now, thank you guys, and I shall see you in our next video. Bye bye.